It is a nice view. Right on the coast of Iceland, on the east side of the island. Another fjord. Look at this river that's like going right next to where we are. Very cool, but now we have to get moving.
Hey everybody, thank you for clicking on my video. Before I get to showing the rest of the clips from this day of my travel around Iceland, I wanted to show a recap of kind of where I had actually been so far on the island through Google Maps here. So, as you can see, this is Iceland, zoomed out. I starred a bunch of the locations that I had gone. So we'll go over here. I flew in, landed in the Keflavik airport, and then, of course, made my way to Reykjavik. Spent the first couple days in Reykjavik. This was the hostel I stayed at here, Kex.
Here's the hostel I'm staying in.
Great hostel, I recommend it. That's where I met Juan. This is the lagoon that we went to, Sky Lagoon. Super cool place. Highly recommend that if you're in Reykjavik. So after me and Juan went to the lagoon, we hung out around Reykjavik for the rest of the day, and then at some point we went to see the Northern Lights. We drove all the way out here, back towards the airport, and right around here, we pulled off on this road. Then the next day, after that night of seeing the Northern Lights, we eventually went to see the Golden Circle, which is a lot of this stuff over here. So we went first to Thingvellir National Park, which is around here, and then we eventually made our way to the geyser, the Great Geyser. It was nighttime by then. Same thing with when we went to the waterfall. And there's a whole bunch of beautiful stuff all around here that we didn't get to see, but I will go back eventually. Then, of course, we made our way north. We made our way here. We did not, of course, go into the West Fjords. We made our way to Blönduós, where we made a brief stop and looked across and could see the West Fjords.
And that way over there is a part of Iceland called the West Fjords.
And then we went this way. Somewhere around here, we stopped the car and went and took some pictures and videos on the side of the road. I was throwing some rock off the edge, whatever. It was somewhere between here and in here. Then we made our way to Akureyri, and I'm still probably butchering that pronunciation. Anyway, we stayed somewhere around here. Not in that exact location, but somewhere right around there is where we stayed.
This is a fjord right here.
Then we kept driving. We made it to this Mývatn nature spring area. That was super cool. And then this geothermal area, Hverir. This is that place, that geothermal wasteland. And then we went a little further. We tried to go on this road, 864, and somewhere, probably around here, the road was washed out and we failed and had to turn back and come all the way back, take 862, all the way up here, find this little road, find this parking lot, and this is where we saw the Northern Lights that night. Super cool. Best time I've ever seen the Northern Lights was somewhere right in this parking lot at like 2 or 3 a.m. And then we followed this trail, and this was all frozen over. We wanted to see, even though it would have been weird at nighttime, we kept making it to waterfalls at nighttime, but we wanted to see Dettifoss and also Selfoss. Selfoss, we probably wouldn't have hiked to it. It was too far. We could hear it, though. When we walked up to the trail, first you could hear Selfoss, then you could hear Dettifoss. We made it like partway across this river and couldn't see anything. Or I did anyway. I was jumping across rocks. It didn't really work out. Had to turn back. Boots got a little wet. And and then we abandoned the mission, but at least we saw the Northern Lights. And then we drove through the night, or I did. I drove the entire time. Juan was sleeping pretty much after that point. Kept following the main road. We pretty much stayed on Ringvegur, Road 1. And then we eventually sometime made it into one of these towns and connected to internet and figured out a place to stay, and this is where we stayed, which is what you just saw. Us staying in, I believe, actually this place that I had starred. I think this was the guest house. I highly recommend it. Super nice people. At some point we picked up a hitchhiker around here. I want to say it was around here, Bridalsvik or something. We picked up this French hitchhiker, a nice guy. I forget his name, but that's okay. And he was, crazy story. Let me zoom out really quick. He had come from France and taken a ferry to the Faroe Islands, spent a little time there, and then made his way to somewhere around here where it dropped off, I guess. And then he was hitchhiking, or from whichever direction, I'm not entirely sure, probably from up here somewhere it dropped off, and he was making his way down this way. We picked him up, and he wanted to go to Hoffen. So we got him to this little town here, Hoffen, and then after we got some food and gas, we continued on with our day, and we eventually made it to Diamond Beach.
Well, we made it to Diamond Beach. Unfortunately, it's not a very nice day to be at a beach, but that would be cool to see. Too bad that nothing's erupting right now. This is cool. There's all these photos of Iceland. Nice. Let's see if we can find some diamonds. Well, it's pretty cool. There's the diamonds. Can't really get to them very easily. I found a diamond. We're rich. Whoa. This either came off of the glacier and into the ocean, or off of some iceberg out in the ocean. Not really sure, but that's why it's called Diamond Beach. Although without sun, it doesn't look that cool. Oh my god. The wind is brutal. Oh, I'm freezing. Thankfully I have rain gear.
Here at Diamond Beach, little pieces of the glaciers. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of that glacier. It's not happening, guys. The big one. Yeah. Little pieces of that guy. They wash off through here and float here and wash back up on the beach at Diamond Beach. It was unfortunately not a great day. It wasn't very pretty. But we saw pieces of the diamonds, quote unquote.
We almost missed this when we were leaving. So we're right by the glacier. It's up on top of these mountains over here. Can't quite see it, but this waterfall, it's not coming over the thing. It's coming out of a hole in the earth, like cave systems. That's cool. I wonder where that's coming from. Some giant lake inside the earth.
Then, after we left here, we made our way to the place that we were staying the night. But before we did that, we attempted to actually hike up onto the glacier, which was stupid because it was already getting dark. But we found, looking at the maps, just like we're doing now, we saw there was a couple places where the glacier kind of came close to the road, and here, as we drove by, there was nothing you could really do here. So we kept driving, got to here. Sure enough, there's actually like a national park. So you can follow down this road here and park here, and there's actually some sort of national park where there's a whole thing that you can go hike up onto here.
So we found a place where the road gets really close to the glacier. Kind of see it over there. We found a little parking lot with a trail, and there's just enough daylight to go over and see the glacier, the big one. And then tonight we're staying on or right next to one of the small glaciers. And the rain, thankfully, and wind have let up enough. All right, we got as far as we could. There's multiple extremely muddy rivers in between us and the glacier that are running down off this crazy mountain right here. But we're running out of daylight. It's gonna be too dangerous to walk all the way back in the dark, so we're gonna get some night mode pictures of this thing from as close as we could get. You can see right there, that dark area, there's a trail that goes up onto the glacier. That would have been cool. But another time, perhaps years from now.
Now, unfortunately, we were stupid, and it was getting dark, and it was in the springtime, so there's lots of melt water. This whole thing was just mud and rivers running off of this guy, and we attempted to hike up onto here. We failed. After we failed, we went back to our hotel for the night, and, you know, that's pretty much everything that took place in this video.